Dude Everything.
Guys, so we got all the hard code stuff out of the way. What we need to do now is just do a little bit of CSS using Bootstrap classes and clean it up a little bit. Not too much. I'm not going to go into too much detail with it, but enough to get you started. So first thing we want to do is assign a font. So I use Lobster, not for any particular reason other than I just think it looks nice. So we're going to import the font Lobster. In our CSS file, we're just going to target everything with this. I want everything to have it. So we're just to say font-family, and we're going to go ahead and put Lobster. So if that, there you go. So Lobster. It'll default to something in the browser if this one doesn't come up, but you usually want to put like a Times New Roman or something. If backup font, a couple usually. So first thing we do is set the font, and we want to make sure that it's working on our stuff here, and it is. Cool. So we set the font in the body. Next thing I did was I set a background image. The reason for this is the white is a little too plain. Choose whatever image you like. I just grabbed a random image off for Wikipedia. I thought it might be relevant. Let's go ahead and put in the URL here. And so we're going to set the image to this. Okay, that looks better, I guess, but we actually want this to not repeat for one. So what we can do is say background dash repeat, and we say no dash repeat. So we don't want it to repeat. Make sure you spell it correctly. Spell it correctly. So we don't want it to repeat. Background repeat. I was like, why isn't that working? Repeat. No repeat. So cool. It's only there in the one. So what do we want to do? We want to then set it so that it's fixed. Oops. Excuse me. Fixed and centered. So let's go ahead and center it first. So we can do background dash position. Actually, we won't do that. We will do background dash attachment fix. Because what we're going to do is we're going to then create a div that's going to center all this in the container. So, yeah. We'll do div and we'll create a class equal to text-center, a Bootstrap class. And so this is gonna let's go ahead and text dash center. Let's go ahead and close that div on the anchor tag here slash div, because we don't want our search results to display that way. So now it's centered. We have this image, but it kind of blends in too much, and this is kind of off center. So what can we do to fix that? We can then set background dash position to center if that's what you want. I just do it a habit, but now that I'm looking at it, it actually probably looks a little bit better to the left. So let's actually take that out. As you can see it, cool. We have, so this is our background. You'll notice that it's always in the same position. Set this up. This is a little too close, and this doesn't have enough. We want to give it a little bit of a pop. So what we can do here is just, because it's our only image, we can target the back at my original code. And what I actually did here was I created a class called heading, and that's what we're gonna do for our image here. So we're gonna create a div around this image class. So we're just going to create a div, and we're going to give it a class equal to heading. So that's why we weren't able to curve the corners. So you can't do that with the images. And then we'll go ahead and close this div. Cool, so we're targeting the heading here. And we want to set the background color to black. Border radius to 25 pixels. You see it's curved there. We then want to change the display to inline-block. It's going to bring it in. Like so. And that's it. Everything else is really up. Oh, I guess we could move this button away a little bit. I just targeted the button because I didn't like how it was right up on it like that. So I did button, and then I did margin 1% to bring it out in all directions. I like it a little off center like that. Alright guys, so we have our heading, we have our subheading, we have our clickable image that opens up. We have a search here, a background. So let's go ahead and put search hello world, submit it, and then we have our output. So the last thing that you can do on your own is clean this up, maybe display it as blocks all the way across and take away the styling here. But that is the bulk of our code. I hope this helps you out with the Wikipedia API project, and I hope it just helps you out in your programming careers in general. Don't forget to like and subscribe and support me on Patreon. And thank you to Carol, who was my first ever Patreon subscriber. I appreciate it a ton. It's really cool. Thanks for the support. See you guys in the next video. Hey guys, make sure to check out my Twitch API videos, which will be coming out pretty soon, as well as my new series, Drunk Developers, where I ask questions on how did you get into the field, what was the favorite thing you ever did, what languages do you recommend learning for a beginner, all this sort of stuff while having drinks. So I hope you guys enjoy that and keep an eye out for it. See you next time.